Oh, hello, hello. Hopefully this is down so it won't make any noise. I'm trying to turn my iPad down so it won't make any noise if it pulls into the fact that I am live. Hello, hello. How are you all? Renata here. I am coming. I don't know why it's not letting me see if anybody is watching. But hello, I am coming on to talk about words. I figure this is a Friday. We as a YouTube community can sit here or sit down for a second or wherever you are and talk about words. Like what's going on with words. And when I say when I say that, I know it sounds funny. The title of it was "Words Are," and I wanted to get a census. I wanted to get a perspective, and also give a perspective on what words are, how words are today compared to how they were before now, before this generation, before this time. I've got a few notes, so I will be talking about them. I was watching a video also by, I will put his link in or his name in, Smart Christian's channel, Brother Corey. I think it's Corey Holcomb, but I'm just going to go Corey, Brother Corey, Smart Christian's channel. And I will put that in the description or whatever and give all credit to him. Today I was watching, and I don't know if it was that the video came out today or I just caught it today, but I will be doing looking at. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, I will be looking at or thinking about what he and his guest, Dr. Brian J. Wright, were speaking about. Their topic was about why Greek is important. Now, when we speak about Greek, it's usually because it is about um, the biblical term, the biblical ways, and all those kind of things. But when we think about it, we got to also understand that was how they spoke. That those ways that were the ways of their language. Those were how they got their point across, whether it was written down or whether it was just orated. Everybody passed down the messages, that passed down the lessons, passed down whatever was being said and whatever was being taught. I know we've all played, or we should have all played. A lot of us have played. I won't say all because I can never say you can never say all nowadays. But some of us played the game of telephone, where you had to, or either um, secrets, where you had to use some kind. You had to make up some kind of statement or something, and you had to whisper it to somebody, and it went around the circle, and when it got to the last person, you got the chance to see who got it all the way right and where did it get wrong, where did the words go wrong, who got what. And usually by the end of it, it went from something like I love Popeye's chicken to hot or something like that, where you're like, wait, what? You missed the whole message. And I was thinking about that. I was like, you know what? I've been thinking, and it's been getting more so real to me because I've been meditating via the Holy Spirit, via the Bible, and not just reading it to be like, oh, okay, yay, great job, I read the Bible, but to actually be able to understand those people in those days, understand their culture, but not only their culture, but the ways that they thought and the ways that they spoke. And that is what is my big thing today. What they had in their mind and in their culture and in their vernacular was different sentiments. They were deeper and more solid, more solidified. And because of that, they were able to understand things that others couldn't understand, and definitely what we can't understand now. Because we have, especially in this generation, decided that for the most part, the words are fluid. Words have changed. We've made up words. We've added words to the dictionary. We've changed words. Anything that we can do to change a word from what it was to what we want it to be or the new definition is today, that's what we've done. And during this time of changing words and words being fluid, we've got to understand or ask the question when it comes to it, what now? Once you, what are words? Once you have, or once we have redefined something, it it stops being what it was, and it stops being what it was in the beginning. And if we go so far as to, and I'm laughing because it's like we want to go so far as to redefine words, but then we want to know, what is the true definition of? What is the true meaning of? And yet we have, I don't know why it's not coming through, but we have literally changed things. It's like we've tried to take the instructions of the whatever maintenance piece or the item. We've tried to make the take the vacuum and the closet cabinet no, sorry, rules and instructions, and we've tried to mix those up and think, oh yeah, well they're both products, so they both work, so we're just going to use both of them. And whatever we do, we can use it. We can use that piece of the vacuum. It can make it art. But what we got to realize is some words are not meant to be um, fluid. So we have to understand that fluidity means that it has no real base standing. It has no real substance where it's like, okay, this is what this means and it's that's all it means. It means nothing else. It is not like I've got a two-pronged definition where it's like, oh, it could mean that too, right? It's like, no, it doesn't mean that. It just means one thing, and I just, when I was listening to this bit of the conversation that these two men were having, Brother Corey and Dr. Brian J. Wright, um, were having about the words and different ways of it being understood and translated, I was like, you know what? We really, even if you want to take it away from biblical and Greek, we've got to understand that different people had their words. And then I want to put us back into the biblical aspect. But different people, we have words that a lot of us have said things, and it's like, wait a minute, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean to say it like that. But we had a great intention, but because of the fact that others took it another way, and perhaps we could see that on their facial expression, and we're like, oh wait, they took it the wrong way. We're sitting there like, yo, we no, that's not what I meant at all. And meanwhile, they're not understanding. Those other people who we were trying to clarify whatever it was, they're not understanding, and they're taking it in a whole nother direction. So that's why this topic and this discussion that these two men were having was so important. and they were speaking about why is Greek so important. Now, in the Bible, the 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 languages that it was spoken or it was written in were Greek, Hebrew, and Aramaic. Those were the languages back in those days. And we have seen, if you do your research, and I know I've done my research, different languages, and also people can attest to this, different languages have different words that have a thick and undertoned meaning. But when it comes to it being translated per se into English, it's some words that people are like, how do I say, I can't say how you would say it in English because there's no real translation. Some words just are not translatable. They get lost, they get dropped, and because of the fact that when they get dropped, it changes the meaning or changes the severity, the importance, the way that the phrase or the thought was supposed to come out. We have to learn and how to understand those things. We can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna open up my mind, and when I free my mind, the rest will follow, and I'll be able to understand totally what they're saying. It's not gonna be that way until we go back in this case, into the Bible, and we try to learn what they thought, their ways, their culture, how their words were. And once we can translate that, and we can no, once we can learn what their standards were and the ways that they would speak. Say, for instance, example is love. We nowadays hear it all the time. Love is love is love is love. But in the Bible, and back in those ancient days, BC times, there were and AD times as well. Um, there were three types of love. There was the regular love, like I love you because you like a person, you're a human being as well. And then there was the brotherly love, the family love, the more than I respect you, you are my family. And then there was the agape love, which is the kind of love where you will sacrifice yourself for those that you love. And when that word love gets translated into English, people nowadays, we have misunderstood how love is. We think love is love is love. Love is accepting everybody at whatever they are doing. If they're doing the worst, it's like, oh, you know what? Well, I think they were misunderstood. Like, we just gotta understand them more, because that's all. They didn't mean it like that, and we try to explain people away, or explain their problem away, and explain the bad or the not so good things, or the malicious or harmful things that they did. We've got loads of current examples of that, where people have done the most heinous crimes. And what do we say? Oh, well, they were it was just a thing that, they were not in the wrong. Like, it was not really them in the wrong. Like, I can attest, I can sympathize with them, I can empathize with, and we miss the whole thing, because we're saying all of these things about, we get it, we understand, but because we missed out and we're putting words in their mouth, but their words and their actions have shown us something. But we want to pretend like that is love. So I'm sorry that it was a long example, but these these current atrocities, I'm trying to find words. These current atrocities have brought this more so to the important top of the realm of conversations. I unfortunately well, okay. Unfortunately, I did not get to go all the way in, but so far on the conversation. Why? Because I go to the comment section a lot. I tend to do that a lot. And I will go to the comment section. I will see what they are saying and what they've gathered about it and where they are coming from. And a lot of the people in the comment section, they gave me a lot more of an insight, and I was like, you know what, I definitely need this, and I just wanted to come on here and for real, have a Friday talk. So let's get down to it. Why are words? Why are words? What do words do? We want to renegotiate what a word means. We want to say, oh, it wasn't so bad. It used to be bad, but whatever. Now it's good. We call each other different names, and it's not a bad thing. But the atrocity that brought that name and the bad thing that that name meant is still here. So what do we do when we have that? A conflict of the word, the base meaning of it versus what people are trying to communicate. Hello. I don't know what that. Hello. I'm sorry, it caught me totally off guard. We we want to. I am so sorry. That caught me totally off guard. We want to try to say things, but as this says, communicate. We don't know how to communicate. We tend to think that we're communicating, but guess what? It always like 8 out of 10 times, I'll say 8 out of 10 times, it gets miscommunicated. I was watching the show, The Chosen, and there was this one scene where the one who was Jesus' character, they were in the synagogue, and Jesus had gotten up and had said something, and when he sat down, everybody was in chaos. They were like, "Wait, what? What is he saying? What is he saying?" Even his disciples were like, "He didn't mean that." He was like, "Yeah, yeah, I did. I did mean that." So even the disciples couldn't figure out what in the world was really being said, because if we know some way of hearing it, when the true words come and the true understanding or the true meaning comes, we're not understanding it. We're still over here understanding and explaining it this way. So that's why we have to learn about words. So that's why I had the question, why are words? And then the next part is, why are words fluid now? Like, I've heard a lot of people, the N word, the different the, red. I don't know if I could say the Caucasian slang word for Caucasians, but RNs, and I'm like, so we're just going with that? Like, we now all of a sudden, I was just hearing that those were bad words, and those are insulting words, and those are fighting words, and now all of a sudden they're not fighting words. Like, we as a community, and I say a community because we are all humans, we're all living in whatever place we're living in. We're living in the world, and in this case, I'm talking about whether it's your state or whether it's your country, your continent, whatever it is. These people in whatever community and area have got to understand each other. And I know in America, a lot of us, we want to be from where we are and we want to have our own language, but we expect everybody else to be open to our language. But how are we going to do that? How are we going to do that if we are not willing to open up and be like, yo, this is what this really means. We got to understand this is the word and this is what it really means. So now once we've got that word, then we figure out what the definition is, and it cannot be fluid. That's the thing. I'm like, how is it fluid? Then people are like, it's good. No, it's bad. No, it's good. No, it's bad. So it makes it where we can never get the chance to come together. Now, the next part is, how do we reconnect? I don't know exactly, and that's why I'm asking this question. How do we reconnect? If you in the comment section, if anybody, whoever is looking at this, um, maybe you can help enlighten on how do we reconnect. What do we have to reconnect on? A lot of people would be like, well, I don't have to reconnect with nobody. If I don't know you and I don't talk to you and you don't know me, then whatever. But it's not helping. That way of just having your own people is not helping. And why do I know that? Because we hear it every day on social media, in the news, on TV, in the newspapers. We see it in person. Go to the subway, go to the train, go to stores. You will hear it, not all the time, but you will hear it. People are just like, the tone of their voice, they don't mean anything bad or malicious about whatever, but the tone of their voice just messes everybody up. Then next thing you know, it's a, like they said, a ball of confusion. It's just a whole lot of mess. And with these atrocities that have happened lately, we can't afford to keep talking about, well, to each his own, to each his own. If you know, you know. I'm gonna talk to my people how I talk to my people. But we have to learn how to come back to what are words. So I just want us to think about that, because of the fact that we need to stop just having fluid words. Have a definition of it. Let us know. Let the community know. What is this definition? What is this word? What does it mean? And I've seen a lot of people, when they are asked what a word means, they're like, well, I know, I mean, it is what it is, and it's all what you make it. But when we think about that, what we make it, it's all what we make it. Who are we? Is it a personal thing? Is it a one on one, or a one person each makes their own thing? Because that doesn't work. If every single person has their own language, that doesn't work. If every country has their language, that could work, because those countries can be able to communicate together and have a chance to be able to bond and have fellowship, and be able to love each other, be able to care for each other. But if we don't have a actual definition and an actual vocabulary, actual words where they have definitions, oh, it's going to be more and more and more chaos. And I know that we keep wanting to have, and I mean we, as in everybody, because this is the thing that everybody says. We want to be able to do what we want to do. We want the ones that understand us, they'll understand us. If it's for us to understand, we'll understand it. But that doesn't work in reality. That's a great thought, a great theory. Yeah, whatever it is, what it is. We understand what we understand, but we've had generations that have just not helped each other to understand. They sweep it under the rug and sit there and say, it'll get better by and by. And yet the words are not defined. The understanding is not defined, which goes back to what the two men, Brother Corey and Dr. Brian J. Wright, in the video for Smart Christians channel on YouTube, were saying. They were saying about how um, the definitions, when they go from Greek to English, have been translated, and some of the words have fallen off. Some of the important words are no more, or were not translated. So what does that tell us? That tells us that we need to go back to what were the words in the beginning. We can't go all the way back. God knows we can't go all the way back to Adam and Eve and be like, hey, what language did you all speak? Because that ain't happening. That's way, 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 way gone. But what we can do is we can go back to, in Christ followers' case, we can go back to what language Jesus spoke, what language the disciples spoke, what language they wrote in, so that we can understand their understanding, their passionate words, what they would say. Jesus would give parables, and if you don't understand that culture or that time or that subject, you're gonna miss out. You're gonna be sitting there like, wait, what? Okay, wait, what? Just like a lot of the people that he spoke to, a lot of the people that heard his actual parables from his mouth to their ears, from his mouth to their ears, they still missed out on the parables. But we, as true Christ followers, the ones that are true Christ followers, we need to learn what were the cultural ways. What was it that was making this passionate parable to be most utmost importance? I really want to have a I want to say so many words, but I don't think any of them are like actual reality words, like words that have definitions to them. But I want someone who understands the history of words to also come on here, to come on my platform, and to be able to explain it to us in layman's terms, not in stupid, dumb, like, oh my God, pity them. But I want them to be able to explain it to us. Because a lot of us nowadays, not all, but a lot of us have just gone to, well, whatever. I mean, I'm from place. I'm from place. Nah, I'm from place. So, we do what we do. Yeah. Meanwhile, we've lost connection with each other. So that's why it brought this so much to my mind and to my attention. And the last thing was, what was and is the importance of words? What was the importance of words? Words are powerful. In the Bible, it speaks of words which come from the tongue. Um, the tongue being as sharp as a two-edged sword. And because we know that a two-edged sword is very vicious, very dangerous, you have to be very careful with that thing. We know that words can hurt, Even though we had that whole sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But we got to understand that words do hurt. Words don't only hurt you, but words hurt the community. Words hurt the generations that follow. Words can change. Words can demolish or build up. And because of that, we have lost the understanding of actual importance of words. Let me give you some examples. In passing of people, well, not passing like as in gone from this world, but when I'm talking to people or walking by people, I will hear them saying things like, I seen, I seen. I that's the one thing that's saying. I seen. And they had did. They had did. I'm like, what happened? I'm the only one who went to English class, right? Like we oh, sneaked. Like we snuck, instead of saying we snuck into the whatever, we snuck into the bedroom or we snuck into wherever. Nah, they nowadays they're talking about some. We sneaked into the bedroom, and it's like those are not the actual words. That's those are I know those are small, kind of pettyish, kind of examples, but when those kind of examples grow more and more to different kind of phrases that we would say, different kind of words that were quotes, and people say them wrong. I've heard people in the church say the phrase wrong. Make make the liar a devil. Make the I forgot what they said, but I'll catch on. I'll remember it. Make the devil out of a liar. Make the something like that. But they when you want to say quotes and things of that sort, we have to learn how to say it the correct way, because perhaps that quote and those words are what the person needs to hear. And if they're hearing it wrong, the wrong message is going to be sent through. So that's why we need to make sure that we understand what were the words. Now, what is the importance of words now? Comment section. Anybody got a understanding of what are words now? Because when I hear people speaking and they're not speaking the way that I was taught that the words are defined and they are supposed to be said, and the quotes and the statements and things, vernacular words are not being said the correct way, it starts to be like, you know what? I'm done. Never mind. Forget it. I don't want to talk to anybody, you know? So if we want to do that, let's make sure that we understand. Are we still trying to do English, or are we trying to do our own whatever um, words, our own languages? Because I know I want to be able to continue talking to my friends and being able to go out to different places, talking to more people and understanding what they are dealing with and understanding words by them or words with them. So thank you for TT. Thank you for whoever else comes in this. Please like and subscribe. Press the bell, because I will be doing this every Friday. It's supposed to be at 7 o'clock, but my computer and my phone were not letting me in to do it at 7 o'clock, but I will be doing 7 o'clock. I do on the weekdays, Monday and Wednesday, I do Facebook and Instagram. So please catch me on Facebook and Instagram, Renata F. Nedab. Renata F. Nedap. And I have my own business. I can show you this card. It's going to go backwards. It's going to be the opposite way. So RFN Creations. So yeah, I am going to be doing more samples of my merchandise. And let me go on ahead and tell you while I got the words to tell you. My business, RFN Creations, is about being able to do encouragement, inspiration, what's the other word? Evangelism as well, but encouragement and inspiration fully. And to be able to be an uplifting space to come to instead of and versus those other places and spaces on social media and whatnot that are just crazy news, dramatic news, demise news, things of that sort. And I do my best to my due diligence of studying. I do a lot of biblical study so that I can bring biblical aspects into what we are dealing with topic wise and issues wise today. So please, I thank you for joining me. I want you all to continue joining me on every Friday. Let's see. I will be showing you different samples, like I said, but I don't have my samples on me. Not today. But I will show you that I have been busy today. I have been doing a lot of painting. I have been doing a lot of for different things like caps. I've got my hats. They'll be having custom made whatever you want on it. Custom made pictures, art, whatever you want as your phrase. Encouraging. It's got to be encouraging. It cannot be anything derogatory or like anything like that. It's got to be encouraging and inspiring. I've got, oh man, I've got so many things. I've got my paints. I've got the paint brushes are soaking in the water. Um, I've got customers. Several customers have sent in their pictures that they love their merchandise. They love their gear. I do hats. I'm sorry, caps right now. I do shirts. I do bags, like tote bags, because I know we are now going into the warmer time when people are going on vacation, and you're gonna want to have a bag. So I do custom, but I can also just put out some shirts and some bags and pants and have my logo RFN on it and be able to RFN Creations on it and be able to just give those. So I do what I can because this is 2023. This is my goal, my mission. This is not just something that I'm doing on the side. This is my business. So please, when you see these videos of mine, like, share, subscribe, get my videos on the algorithm, get me up so I can be able to be supported because this is something that is lifelong, and I'm blessed to be able to do this, but I need support. So I need this to keep rolling, rolling, rolling. So, yeah, I thank you all for listening. I have something else that I wanted to show. Not sure it's gonna fall or not. Okay, never mind. It's gonna fall. It's gonna fall. So I'm not gonna show it. But it was my actual sign. It says RFN Creations. And it's probably going to show the opposite way because it usually does that. And so then it looks like NFR. So I want to be able to show it off the correct way. So please continue liking these videos. RFN Creations is my business. Um, oh, also I have my Facebook for my business site, RFN Creations. Literally, RFN Creations. And you can be able to catch me on there, get more information about how you can get in touch with me. I've got my email, I've got business cards. Hang on, I do have my business cards. I got my business cards right here. I don't know if it'll come out the right way. RFN Creations. And I've got my info. Oh my gosh, it's too bright. Okay, well, I will put my business info the onto YouTube somehow. I will put it in there in the description, and I will be back on Friday. So 7 o'clock on Fridays, bell notification, and just come on in. I will be doing great topics. If you want, put in the comments once you see this, put in the comments what you want to have a Friday talk about. It could be just like Friday community talk, you know, how they used to be doing BET talk, things of that sort. We're not going to do political because, oh man, political goes so far down rabbit holes that it just doesn't go the correct way. But we need to be able to do talking. And, you know, I figure I need to be able to be one of the voices that is talking, and also being able to have other people to come on and talk as well. So on this, with this StreamYard, if people want to come up, I'm able to put it in the link, and then you're able to come up on here. But I appreciate the people that watched this. I'm trying to do my best to get more topics that are relatable and that are awesome, you know, like just real cool. Some are chill, some are laid back. I guess next week will be how to relax, how to chill. Like they said, let's chill, let's settle down. That's what I want to do. Just me and you. And so that's all, you know. Just want to be able to make calmness, you know, make a conversation out of a whole big issue. Just make it into a small conversation. Just talk about it. Let's get it handled, and let's just get it popping. Let's just get it going and move on for the better, you know? So Renata F. Nedab is my name. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you all will join me next Friday at 7 p.m. My words are getting mumbled and jumbled. So I'm about to get on off, and I'm gonna go back to the other the other channel. Oh, the like I said, the channel was Smart Christians channel, and the men were Brother Corey. I think his name is Holcomb, but I'm not going to say, and I don't want to get it wrong. And definitely it was Dr. Brian J. Wright. So they were speaking about why is Greek important. All right, so catch you all on next Friday, 7 p.m. Thank you so much. Renata out. Bye.